Welcome. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day. Good to see everybody in here. A little shout out to Simone from Italy, Project AZ. Good to see you, Xmas, Megatron. Megan, you didn't get that song right. Or you didn't. Who's the song? Europe. Good to see you, brother, all the way across the pond. Toxic family usually equates to narc people in today's world. Well said. Polo, good to see you. I did not hear about that, but no surprise. This is going to be a difficult topic for some. Family is starting to be a man-hating institution, just like marriage. Well said. That song was a band called Slaves. In fact, they changed their name in 2020 when everybody got all bent out of shape about certain names and certain names of teams. The song is called I'd Rather See Your Heart Explode. And it's known as a post-punk. Guy sounds kind of like that Justin Bieber, but there's good metal. And I like the message. That band, when I was going through the divorce, the name of the album is Beautiful Death. And every one of those songs I latched onto. It spoke to me. Anyhow, I'll keep a link for it. Good to see everybody. Finished installing Windows since my paper supervisor wants me to use Microsoft products for 300 Trebek. Why men must walk away from toxic relationships, even including your kids. This is very important. Good to see Jawara. I have, as somebody know, a very toxic firstborn. Happens to be a daughter. I don't know what we call it toxic, but very disrespectful somebody. I believe that she has the traits of a narc. I believe she has the traits. She's a very disrespectful. Her mother never, well, let's just say there was no disrespect being evaluated and I was the bad guy. But we're not going to talk about that. There's no victim here. It is what it is. I did my best that I could do to contain a relationship. And I realized at the end of the day, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to deal with somebody that's disrespectful, either upstream or downstream. If you're disrespectful, if my parents are disrespectful to me, I'm not going to deal with them either. If a brother or sister are disrespectful, which I do have, I don't deal with them. I do not need drama at this age of my life. You can't fix people. The doghouse. I'll be distancing myself from my father and sister officially this week. It's over. Too many lies and disrespect and too many narcs. Identify the people who really love and respect you. I think, well said. I think what it comes down to is respect. If there's no respect for the people in your life, and again, if you're a father, you should respect your kids as well. It should go. It's a bi-directional deal. But most fathers and mothers, hopefully, especially fathers, not all, want to take care of their kids, provide an avenue for them to be successful, to have happiness, to excel as kids. And we have that in common. But there are a lot of young men and young women that do not respect their parents anymore. Jawara says, I had to walk away from my own mother. Thank you. I remember you telling me that, brother. Pete, good to see you, brother. Feminism destroys our daughters as well as our wives. Our only hope is to save and protect our boys. Absolutely. 100% exactly what happened to this. And go back to cell phones, programming, technology, social media, TV shows, how they just view the dad. And it's you got to move away from it. It's as simple as that. And if you feel bad, it's not saying you don't love your offspring. You don't love your parents. You can't have people in your life that are staining and poisoning the pond where you drink from. You got to go to a different pond. Project, kid, mother, dad, brothers or sisters, if you don't fall in line as a man, you are useless. Well said, brother. Toxic means everything that is blocking your ways and goals. If you have no stress, you will reach your goals very fast. Stress is the killer of all people, folks. Disrespectful people are worldwide. Well said. Sammy's back. Good to see you. Can you please explain to the manosphere that it is impossible to vet someone for a lifetime position? Absolutely. You can go get a private eye, but you never know what's here, what's inside, what they're thinking truly. And that's a problem with men. Men think that they can use logic and they can use past things to predict future outcomes. Well, maybe. Mega says, my own mom is getting toxic, especially my sister, all because of programming. My sister has a very toxic relationship with my parents. It's unfortunate to see, but it is what it is. Gerald says, I stopped communicating with both my parents because they openly treated me like I was a total disappointment. We know you're not a disappointment, Gerald. Good to see Mars. How you doing, brother? Been a few live streams since we've seen you. You said it right. You can't fix people. I detoxed from the virtual world and I feel better because of it. I'm focused on my purpose. Attaboy. When I go to Italy, maybe I'll go this year. I'll come visit you. My mother got bit by feminism, started blaming everything that was wrong in her life on my dad. Good to see you, Trog. Yeah, it happens. The programming. My own sister is pure evil and intentionally got a few men with false alligators. It's unfortunate. It really is, guys. Feminism is destroying women. Every woman can choose to be a 304 single mother by choice. They're choosing to live that way. Every woman could say no, but they don't. Well said. There's a choice in it. Did you hear Trump talking about angel moms? A very disappointing term to use by his administration. I don't even know. No, I didn't hear that. But yeah, I mean, you would think that, I mean, literally, that is the last war that one must fight, the war between the sexes. But are we going to get back to that? I doubt it. I thought I was the only man dealing with family shit. Nah. Luckily, I've had a good relationship with my parents. It's been a little rocky at times, but it is what it is. Mega says, blood isn't always thicker than water. Well said. You know what? Most of the men in here, I find a lot of value speaking to you men, listening to your live streams, watching your videos, commenting, having comments on mine. It is truly a life changer for a lot of men struggling in today's society when men are disposed of, either by the court system or by their own families. And so there's value in every single one of us, whether you're listening or commenting or watching. Strength in numbers. Hunter says, I watch every day, just don't comment much. Appreciate you being here, Hunter. I've seen you before. Hope you're doing well. You're a young man, too. Rad, can we please temporarily suspend the Constitution and grant Trump? Well, when there's too much power, that can corrupt as well. Peter says, wives indoctrinate their girls before they can be adult and rational women. Most daughters have terrible attitudes as a result. And I've talked to Pete about this on the phone, over chat. He has experienced very similar circumstances that I've experienced. I think we're good. I think we're decent men. I think we're the men that our fathers raised us as, to be strong men. And today's strong man is looked at as a liability. Strong men are looked at as a liability. Now, if you were Skittles enhanced and you were a Skittles ally and all that stuff and had no backbone, you'd probably still be in that family's life, only to be walked on, stomped on, and made fun of. You see, you can't really win in a lot of ways. The only way a man wins is when he walks away and he says, enough is enough. I will not deal with disrespect. If my boys begin to disrespect me, they will be cut off. I don't see that happening, but you never know. It's crazy how the Popo allowed my evil sister to use false alligators. Well, the women are always believed. You know, that's just reality. We have to accept that. It's almost as though their virtue is immune from all potential outcomes, where the man is not immune from anything. Modern women want freedom and to live like a 304. Every woman can say no. Feminism is not forcing them to live that way. We men in this chat choose the MGTOW way. Well said. Appreciate that, Pete. All Seeing Autos is back. Mr. Captain Rusty Rivers. Captain does a lot of videos on narcissistic people. I don't like to use that term because I think there are legit certified clinical narcs, but narcissism is such a vast word that can mean so many different things. But if you don't don't rest the world leaders that our lifetime will simply wait him out. Yeah, you never know what'll happen. Ladies are leading the modern household. Leadership is of an illogical and feeling-based foundation and doomed to fail. You can't lead with feelings. Well said, brother. Well said. You cannot lead with feelings. This damn internet pisses me off. But modern women want to live like a 304. Feminism is not to blame. They're just pushing the agenda. What the fuck is up with this? Somebody doesn't like Rad going live right now. Good to see Revster in the chat. Appreciate you being here. You're up. She will lie about her ex in the courtroom and say he was toxic, abusive, and controlling. Gosh damn it. I keep going in and out. Happy Humble Hermit got deleted. I saw that. 3 strikes. He sent him some whiskey. Attaboy. She is planning her escape before planning the wedding. Marriage is the reason for divorce. Well said, Mr. Jerron Markel. I like a lot of things Trump's doing, but again, power is power. Feelings are just mere distractions of reaching our life's goals. I keep coming in and out. What's going on with Comcast? Not a happy camper. Trying to keep up with a woman. It's constantly changing mood and direction in life is tiresome and not worth it. I agree. Remove the drama. Remove it. I keep going in and out. That's what she said. There you go. Riggs, good to see you. We're strong as a brotherhood. Every single one of you that contribute. Wes, good to see Wes back in the chat. Finally made it to a live. This is a man that has taken reins by the horn and went over to Europe, got out of his shell, and is thriving in every which way possible. Thanks for being here, Wes. She is planning plan A, B, C, and D, monkey branching like a professional. Who back in the chat? Anybody noticed all the crashes? I think something happened today in Arizona. Well-versed in the topic. 4 years research, however, it's infiltrated with females. It's 90% of them. All the advice will be wrong for the men here. You're not wrong. Men get what they tolerate. If you don't lead as a man, then your wife and daughters will overpower you in the family. Well said, Pete. They use the feminist playbook and the gynocentric hype, and that's no disrespect. Just walk away. When you walk away, you retain your power. You don't need to say anything. Remember, silence is golden. The trad cucks want men to come back to the plantation, but don't demand that women change. The power of the peace leave. Power of the peace leave. Sister's ex-boyfriend said he spent everything he had to beat the fall. Yeah, I got a buddy that spent $35,000. He wasn't even in the same house when she made the alligators. Let that sink in. Just found $20. Go buy yourself a piece of crispy pizza, Jerron Markel. I'm so addicted to John F. Kennedy and DJ D. I convinced my paper supervisor to write about them. There you go. 1 in 1,000 getting married, huh? I bet it's more than that. Hammer scheduled to raise hell tomorrow night. There you go. Europe says her box is toxic. Well, physically as well. I mean, you never know what's going on downstairs, right? With all that microshimmerism. You're supposed to fly on Friday. Where are you going, Rev? Currently reading about Napoleon, great RP wisdom in the 18th century. Even being an emperor wasn't enough for his wife. I Renegade. Good to see you, brother. Competent father and father figures are crucial for a boy's development. Single mothers hinder sons. Single mothers of today's, yes. A lot of them do. Huh. It's like shark. Remember when shark attacks came out about 10 years ago? All these sharks, someone got bit by a shark, and all of a sudden there was a shark attack every 2 minutes. Then it went away. If you think about all the flights each day, I think you'll be fine. Europe says fishy box for $5.99. It takes a village. No, it takes a father. Well said. Hillary. That Hillary goofball. Oh, she's ugly. First abolish family, divorce, child court, and then we can talk. Family divorce court. I haven't seen my youngest daughter for 3 years. My older daughter just uses me as an ATM. Yep. My boys are great. Same upbringing in some fam. Yep. Same. Yeah. I haven't seen mine for, it's going on 2 years. Haven't talked to her almost for 2 years. And I'm fine. People go, oh, Rad, I'm so sorry. Why are you sorry? It is what it is. I accept reality. You have to accept what life throws at you. The fishy box. Good to see whose statement. A lot of fishy box out. No female is a virgin when getting married. Jeez. Ain't that the truth? Main reason for divorce are nagging, disrespectful, and not grateful women. Sure. Little Rock this weekend. I'm almost done traveling there. Attaboy. Most men are the geniuses, but also most men are the idiots too, especially the ones that are married. Flying overseas in April, it's my time to die. It's my time, not letting me stop the fear of flying. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people aren't flying because of it. Europe says he didn't see his daughter for 8 years. My ex used potential. Yeah, it happens, man. There are men in here that have not seen their kids for years upon years. Not talked to them, nothing. A lot of unfortunate sense, Jawara. Living in a toxic environment makes man sick. Once health is gone, it's very hard to restore its normalcy. You either die miserable living there or get out. Well said, Betty. Good to see you. I didn't see my daughters for a couple years after divorce. They sided with mom. I wasn't going to bother fighting that. You can't. What are you going to do? So many guys try to fix it. You can't. You can't fix it. You need to stand your ground as a masculine man and walk away. Every man with my ex-wife talks to speak shit about me, of course. Every single one, even though they don't give a flying F to her and only want to pump and temper. That's how they're doing it because they want the peace leave. Toxic family is the worst. It takes wisdom to walk away from a situation that won't change. Well said, Wes. What's the science behind those box smells? Hormones, mixing with male DNA, bad hygiene, bad diets. Appreciate you being here, Riggs. Everything with a female has a shelf life. She becomes useless in regard to family when she's over 30. Well, their eggs dry up. Get that Instagram influencer life. They all want to be influencers, don't they, Rev? I heard of the stats, but daughters seem to be a mixed bag for his loyalty towards Papa. I think sons have a better statistic. Yes, you're currently correct. My ex used to fake cry in front of my girls. It's child abuse. Sure, it's fake. Toxic means she wants to kill you in different ways, mentally, physically, and financially. I saw videos where women put blank or female hormones in his protein shake. Jeez. Problem with fixing it, you compromise your self-beliefs. Here's the issue why we also, another well said, who 4 years, there's Otto. Right. Got a lot of those. Disrespect. You disrespect yourself when you allow toxicity in your life. You disrespect yourself and they disrespect you more. You become a doormat. Women are manipulators, simple as that. In sales, when I'm selling a client a multi-million-dollar deal and they try to walk all over me, I withdraw that proposal. You know what I say? This is exactly what I say. This proposal doesn't seem to jive with the value I bring to the table. Hence, I'm going to pull it. Here's some competitors that you can go look at that are decent. Not me, because I'm the best. But here's some competitors. Go look at them. I provided the value. You don't see it. I'm going to withdraw it. You know what they do? Every single one of them. Oh, no. We want to talk about this. And we go back to the original proposal and they typically sign it. That's what you do. You pull the carpet out. I went through a few bad girlfriends and watched my family sit idly and not check her bad behavior. Good for you, Riggs. I'm glad I was able to do 50-50 custody, no child support. I gave up everything, house car. I was and am happy just to be with my 3 sons. Your sons will have a great father as they do now, and they will be led the right way. Unfortunately, you're going to have to deprogram them sometimes because of what the ex-wife would say. Toxic family and your own kids has a limit. The establishment want men in chaos and craziness. Well said, Mr. Markel. Man needs to monitor his woman's phone all the time like you do with your teen kids. The moment you smell something fishy or disrespectful, you need to step up. Well, men used to spank their wives in the 20s and 30s when they got out of line. So go figure. It's a foolish man who looks for approval from women. Ain't that the truth, Jason from Colorado? Megan Fox was a cutie in the day. Instantly put her as my background to remind myself that if I work hard, I'll have a chance to meet someone. Now look at her now. Look at her now, what she's turned into. CJ, the only power card a man is to walk away. Well said, brother. Single Town, good to see you, brother. I tried getting on your stream this morning and it cut off. I think you ended it. Make child support voluntary. If your child is obviously your rival and enemy, why would you fund that? Yeah, I agree. When I was buying my property, they kept yanking my chain, trying to get me to pay more than it was worth. So I walked. A month later, they came crawling back. Exactly. Walk away is your best power move. A real man is perfectly happy being the last man on earth if necessary. If he doesn't get respect from others, a real man walks away. No simping. If you don't walk away, they're going to walk all over you. Megan Fox is a psycho, raised 2 trans kids. And what are the odds? Plus, she and her hubby drink each. Yeah. That chick is destroyed. Damage beyond repair. DBR. Damage beyond repair. She is so toxic. Her next man in the future and all her men will get more toxic. Look, that is your only option, to walk away. And you know what? It might never. If Otto and everybody else, Pete's listening, they might never come back. They might never be that version, that fantasy, young little wonderful woman, wonderful young girl that you remember. They might never come back. I accept that. I'm fine with that. I can live my life giving value to those that respect me, and I respect them. Attaboy. Those caravans are pretty cool. Make sure the engine's good, but you can put a lot of space in there. Child maintenance at conception is another example of fake news bashing of men. I think is that Ohio talking about that? Female RN math, half to daycare, half to the IRS, half to the household, but yet independent. Well said. Is she knows a thing or two about women working with pediatrics? That's too slow. They might catch up. Run, Forrest, run. There you go. She is not the girl you married. She will become your enemy. That right there is a nugget of red pill wisdom. One day I was channel surfing, stopped on an interview with Tommy Lee. Question asked about his marriage with Pamela. His response was, it shouldn't be so hard just to live with one another. There you go. I have a feeling my kids are now living in Japan. I have no idea. We got your back here, that's for sure. The RNs I knew were constantly griping about working hard, yet spending so much time sitting around the nursing station. Truth? Nino, telling the truth is way more fun. Keep seeking your health. Appreciate that comment. Talk to Mr. Hemi on the caravans. He's pretty familiar with them. Yeah, just be careful what you get. 80% of women do not seek child support from the women, even if they are entitled to. I always say them nail those 3 or 4s like they nail you. That's what I did. I was called El Mujeriago from my Colombian ex, means playa. Yes, El Mujeriago. I've got 2 smartphones, one for 304s, and the second one is for family and close friends. Protect my peace at all costs. Your health is most important, folks. A lot of room in that minivan, but that's the reality. You don't walk away. You allow toxicity. You are disrespected 10 times, and you disrespect yourself. It is not a good vibe within your system, within your flesh suit. And it's tough. It's tough to get to that point and accept that if you've tried over and over to have a relationship, it's not worth it. Health is not wealth. Health will be the new Bitcoin. Even using code, my posts are getting deleted by you, Shlu. Well said, T-Talks. Happening to everyone. Missing your kids is something heartbreaking, actually, but you have to accept it and keep moving. It's dead, of course. My buddy brings it up all the time. I said, you know what? Don't bring it up all the time. I could care less what you think. Thank you for supporting the fact. I'm way past that. Get a warranty. There you go. I'm not sure I can work with women again. They are all pretty nuts now. I can't trust them. Just make sure you're never alone, that's for sure. And cover your trail. Only talk business. Okay, I'll meet you in the conference room with everybody else at 11:29 when our meeting starts at 11:30. Thanks, Nino. You too. My only family is God, cat, and God. There you go. Protect your health at all costs. Rad, they're out there posing around a petition and Hallmark card for us to sign to support. No. Why are we passing laws to protect delusion, to protect mutilation? No. You don't get rewarded for that. Good to see Gone with John. That's a good looking haircut. Yeah, I figured I'd take my hair. I'd say show everybody what 52 looks like. Good to see John. Check out his channel as well. I Renegade MGTOW saves lives. It prevents hatred towards the females by explaining female nature. Lots of blue pillars lose it and off people for being rejected and hurt. Well said, brother. Warranty don't save you on the side of the road. Just research the issues. Yes. We don't hate women. We accept reality of what female nature and male nature is. We also have weaknesses big time when it comes to the opposite sex. We've also messed up. So why we're trying to teach ourselves new tricks. It's not work alligators. I just find their gossip and work ethic tiresome. Yep. You destroy boys, you destroy future men. All men should change their mindset. It's not your turn. She is a 304 who's sleeping with everyone. She is a prostitute and not your future wife. A lot of these women have high body counts. Most men have to walk away from family and even your own kids sometimes, especially family. These are the ones that know you the best, and the devil uses them. You know what's interesting about that? I had a discussion with a friend today. I said, the devil doesn't make you do anything. The devil gives you a choice. You decide. Was it Project that said that? You decide if you're going to follow feminism or whatever. You decide to get with a 304 that's tempting you. That's your decision. The devil just gives you choices if you believe in a devil. All right? I don't know. I have different thoughts about that. But if you're a Christian man and believe the devil makes people do it, no, the devil gives you a choice. Women have choices to choose. Men have choices to choose. Choose accordingly. If they barely call or text, they are not really your friends and for damn sure not your family. Well said, Doghouse. A lot of them do want the male appendage, Singletown. I see it. Walk away or a prison cell. I can't live in a cage. Frosty the Snow Wrench. Frosty the Snow Wrench. Every day we make choices, good or bad. Without a rudder, you steer off course easily. That's our job as parents, as fathers especially, to steer our kids when they get off course. But they're, again, choices. We're all given choices. Lots of teenage pregnancies. They have the choice to be penetrated. They could have chose differently. The person that puts drugs in their mouth, unless they're forced down their throat, chose to do that. We chose to get married. I chose to marry a woman. Married men are just an insurance scheme for women now. It's really that simple. Well said, Pete. There's Gone with John's channel. Appreciate that. I recommend to all single men to invest in a camper man. It's good backup just in case. Yep. My Forerunner's looking better and better every day as a place to travel and be flexible. Just like the previous live you had, Rad, I find that I talk about the same things with most guys because we have been lied to for decades upon decades. So I absolutely accept that. We are given choices. Yes. Gone Fishing, good to see you, brother. Good afternoon to you. I don't hate women, but I would give them all the fault. They are choosing the man they sleep with or marry with. If he is not a good man, so why she was married with him for 8 years? Isn't that interesting? I met this one gal and she's like, I was married for 24 years. I go, when did you know it was a terrible marriage? Before I married him. Does not compute to Rad, does not compute. It's founding fathers, not founding mothers. There's a reason the Constitution isn't 400 pages long. Sheeple and normies are capable of making their own choices, 80% of people. I like some women, some if not most are insufferable. We have different brains. We don't hate women. We just understand that our brain is not their brain. On the same day she texted me, could tell she would come back from miles away. Yeah. Once you understand your nature as a man and understand kind of what females are intended and inclined to do, life becomes very peaceful. Rev's a van lifer, guys. You got to understand, Rev's been around and is long. I think it's a Chevy or GMC van, right? These 304s and fat people chose to do what they do with their bodies. There are consequences and ramifications to do what one picks and decides. Same with us. We have the choice to be miserable, to allow anything in our experience to knock us off our course, to be that obstacle on our back, to constantly shame that obstacle. Or we have the desire to remove that obstacle by allowing a new game plan in our lives, which is accepting reality and accepting that they might not like us. Our kids might not like us. Our family might not like us. Our friends might leave us, might not want to be around us anymore because we're divorced. We accept that. We don't hate on it. Everyone has a choice. So we decide and pick up and move forward. I'll have to tell you about that. I got a little twin mattress in the back. I'll let you know. There's Rev's channel. Check out his channel as well. He's got some of his van stuff on there. Without social and religious constraints on women's nature, they are largely not suitable for relationships. It is what it is, especially in the 2000s. I think we might all live in a vehicle if things don't improve. I think a vehicle offers ultimate freedom. Women can dress very provocatively at work, but men get punished for the most minor provocative comment. It's always a double standard, isn't it, Pete? Good to see Mr. Blades. Afternoon to you as well. We are talking about walking away from toxicity. Toxic kids, toxic family members, toxic friends, toxic work environments, toxic bosses. We are constantly reminded how bad we are and we need to improve. That's just programming. Every man knows in here the reality. We are good. Most of us, for the most part, are good men. Lots of trad 304s now. Men are the bearers of the burden of performance. Ain't that true? Ain't that true, Jerron? Bonnie Blue apparently is pregnant, possible on the... Wow. Can you imagine being the father of her kid? I see women at work all done up in skin-tight pants and full makeup. I work in a production plant. Well, women know how to emphasize their physiques. Be a real man. Coming from a woman is a joke. Any woman that tells you to be a real man, walk away. Hopefully you're not in a relationship where they tell you to be a real man. Rev's van was huge. We have to learn how to outfit smaller vehicles. I'm not like other women. Every single woman says that. Yeah, sure. Just let it repel off you when they say that. Big red flag if you see a woman is copying other women and making pictures or dressing style. And she is a little kid who's living for new trends. Well, they're all hive-minded. Women like the hive mind. They do exactly what the others do. Most men are good men and very good men. I would agree with that statement. Who amongst her dudes is the daddy? They're going to have to do a DNA test. I bet they never find out. Don't know if it's a skit, but it's funny as hell. Well, could be true. At least the Bonnie Blue birth will be an easy one. Slide right out. Riggs, you dog. Mr. Hemi, good to see you, brother. Real man equals a simp and lame. And today's real man that women want. See, women want what they can't have. They want 2-in-1. They want Pert Plus. They want the shampoo and conditioner all in one. Well, tell me how your shampoo and conditioner really work in the end if they're all in one. We all should be aware of signs: shame, insults, guilt, and need to be right. Good defense is a good offense. That's a gold nugget right there. She chooses a real man and then turns him into a blue-pilled simp. That's why you need to lead as a man. Fortunately, they don't like leaders. They want to be the leader. But you have to walk. You have to walk. You put your foot down and say, I don't tolerate disrespect. I said that to the guy last time I talked. I don't tolerate disrespect. You're going to act like this. Don't talk to me. And I stand by that. And yes, do I miss that little girl that was my firstborn? Absolutely. Do I love that girl still to this day? Yes, but I will not tolerate that sort of environment. And I don't care how long it takes, whether the good life is already passed and I'll never talk to her again. Great. I can move forward. Truly, our natures are very different. We need a book on the subject. Well said, I renegade. As always, protect your money, assets, energy, and time. Daughters are hard to control. The programming at school is so strong that if you are not beta, she would, yes, especially you young men with little daughters. It's going to be very difficult when they start turning into young ladies with all of the hive mind programming and the cell phones and the iPhones and the attention seeking. They say they want a leader till you ask them to do something they see as a work or responsibility. If I can't control them, he ain't no man. I don't want him, says the modern day 304. I think our natures are more different now than, yes, I think so too. Or at least more transparent. Study the Kardashians and you know for sure. Well said. My father taught junior high, said the worst thing in the world was a 13-year-old girl. There you go. There you go. No, Jawara. Only my boys are my beneficiaries. I took her off about 6 years ago. She wants a real man, right? But in reality, her real man is a beta male slave, an ATM machine who is saying 24 hours, yes, babe. That's what they want. And then they monkey branch on him. I wonder why. Or they want an explanation. Yes, sir, Bob. I played my last hand with my parents, mom and dad, no contact. Again, we talk about peace, quiet, and freedom. That removes marriage, cohabitation, having kids, taking on new kids, paying for somebody. Peace, quiet, and freedom could also be a monk life, which is great. Peace, quiet, and freedom can also mean removing toxic situations, toxic circumstances, toxic people from your life. Whatever peace, quiet, and freedom means to you is your decision. Men need to keep leverage and power to realistically walk away without injuring himself. That rules out marriage. Well said, Pete. Adele is nice, though. Well, she monkey branched on her dude, too. Went with a rapper, I think. She has a nice voice. If I had a daughter, when she come out, I'm going to be keeping her off the pole. You're going to have to keep her locked up, apparently. She's a total lefty. Well said. And she monkey branched. I told my daughter about microchimerism and the body count beyond 10. Good for you, Singletown. It's not just possible anymore. Daughters are taught to be friends with their fathers. They have lost their goddamn minds. Programming is so strong, maybe 1% to 2% can be saved. Maybe. Is it true real men have sons, or is it just an opinion? It's a great question. It took me a long time that trying to make someone else's dream come true is a recipe for disaster. Pure gold right there, Wes. Never try to make someone else's life happy because you will be miserable in that moment and those moments. Ready-made toxic situation is a single divorced mother. Ready-made. It's all baked in, isn't it? If my girls get married, they're coming off my legacy. The boys will need the money because the state won't protect them. All these lost daughters are heartbreaking. Yeah, CJ talks about his daughter. Yeah. Lots of men have talked about their daughters. You have to accept it. You have to accept it, guys. Modern women love masculine, strong men only for the bed, but for marriage, they will choose a weak beta male simp because they can't control or lead the masculine alpha male. We can all say that we've lived through toxicity. Now, some of us, I'm sure that I had moments that I was toxic. You know, I was a tough guy, but I wasn't in a way doing it to overpower somebody. I was trying to be a good dad, leading kids. I'm not your friend, kid. I'm your provider and protector. Your provider and protector. There's no friend in that. Make yourself happy. Be like the Grinch. Reason why you never pay the tuition for women or student loans. Once they get their degree or loan paid off, your use is done. Well, look at what's her name? Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson. Got to change the batteries in this mouse. Yeah, I still use batteries. But Pamela Anderson, folks, is didn't she get with that one guy for a little bit? And oh, damn it. He paid off her bills and then she dumped him. Crazy, huh? All right, let's see if I'm back. There we go. Back in business. All right. So let's get here. Okay. Pete says the new Bridget Jones movie is woke nonsense, telling older women they are attractive as in their 20s. Oh, don't you just love it? All these movies. Look at The Substance with Demi Moore, the movie that just came out. An old woman wants to be young. Happiness comes from within. Nobody can give you that. Bingo. What part of Italia are you in? I think. Where isn't he up in Tuscany? I can't remember where Simone is. What if the Grinch was happy and said, screw Whoville? I'm sure he screwed a lot of Whoville. Lots of daughters are 304s, and that dad is something he has to live with. I'd be so scared if I had a daughter. My buddy was trying to give me advice. I'm like, dude, your daughter's 11. You have no idea yet. What's up? Pam married her bodyguard. There you go. What's that tell you? Smartphones have done too much damage to the daughters. Yeah. Look, we didn't have smartphones growing up. Best thing that ever happened to us. You know, we had Pac-Man, asteroids. That was the only technology we had by the time until Atari came out. Different world back then. There was no the influence. The only influence was at school and church. That was it. Now there's influence everywhere, every corner of the world, from all over the world, giving people terrible advice. And typically, most influence came from mom and dad. There was structure. There was routine. You know, now mom and dad can't be mom and dads anymore, especially fathers, because you know who's raising the kids today? Social media. Oh, Simonzi Milan. That sounds like a fun place to go. Social media times hypergamy equals ruins good women. Now, hypergamy has always been around. It was a lot harder growing up because there was no cell phones. It was typically, you know, she's at home, the guy's at work, and the mailman comes in. That was pretty much as hypergamy as possible. You couldn't really run off and text someone and meet me here behind the corner store, and we'll go make out in the park in the car. Northern Italy is boring like so. Italy sounds fun to go to. That 11-year-old probably knows way more than your friend, Rad. Probably. I told him, I said, you better monitor. But he's so blue-pilled. He let the wife runs all over him, unfortunately. Customization has also ruined a lot of things. Too many choice. Yep. Too many choice. Okay. Ever been to the Cheesecake Factory? Do you know how many items are on that list? I think there's over 1,000. Everyone gets confused when they go to Cheesecake Factory. They typically buy the only thing they remember buying. When you have too many choices, it literally short circuits good choices. They'll listen to Cardi B, that a boy. That's a disgraceful woman there. If a woman wants a good, healthy family, she would not install those 3 or 4 apps, and she would be grateful to have a good mom with values. Modern women are 3 or 4s. If you can get your kid off cell phones as long as possible, you might have a chance. But in today's world, no. That's why you have to walk away from kids, because the smartphone is a problem. Yes. I remember I didn't want them to have smartphones. I pushed, and I lost. And from then on, I remember literally within 2 to 3 weeks after the phones became she got a smartphone, the disrespect was off the roof. The back talking, the non-compliance with cleaning her room up, doing her dishes. But also she was going through her menstruation and her, you know, she was getting her period as a young woman, and that had a lot to do with it as well. When they say the song "It's Cold Outside" is sexist, and yeah, how empowering is that? Yeah, it's empowering seeing that punani to get microchimerism. Taylor Swift. I remember my daughter was 11 years old listening to that Swift. Yeah. That's another thing. Woman that listens to that, a girl or a woman, will be indoctrinated. Sexy Lamb says, Gen Alpha is cooked. They're born with phones. Well said, brother. Radical Rafter, good to see you. If you are not doing business or using a smartphone to make money, it should not exist. In Italy, you can do showing in the dirt without picking something from the Roman Empire. If I was a dad, I would be so damn militant with my kids, no phones. I will monitor. Yeah, try. Then they call that child abuse, unfortunately, in today's world. Oh, yeah. She's already throwing attitude at him. And he's like trying to be nice to her, just like he's trying to be nice to his wife. And he does not get any poondang. Warrior Zen says, I saw the same decline when I was coaching. Saw a freshman get a phone 2 weeks later. She was a wreck. I had to walk away from it. There you go. And Wes taught young teenage girls how to play tennis. He would know. I need to take a break, Wes. Okay, sits on the bench, spends 30 minutes texting her friends on social media. What? You only got 10 minutes left in your practice, in your lesson. They don't care. My plan is to stay away from cities as much as possible. Just relax in the countryside. A little town would be fun. If you're a conservative dad and your wife is a left-heart, it's nearly impossible to win the culture war with the kids' minds. Happened to me, Otto. You are 100%. In her fantasy illusion world, she is called strong and independent, but in reality, she is a miserable 304 who destroyed her own family and is making a divorce party with a big cake. Yeah, well said. Yep, Otto's fully on. Mine turned into a libtard. Mm-hmm. First 3 elections voted conservative, was very conservative. Her father was conservative. His brothers were conservative. Her mother was conservative. She did have a libtard sister. There's always one libtard in the family. North South, good to see you, brother. My ex limits our kids' phone time to an hour a day. I give her credit for that. You know what? Good for her for doing that. That is, you know what? When good deeds are done from an ex-wife or the mother of your kids to the kids, you got to appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that my ex cooks good food for my kids and has encouraged and pushed them to get jobs at age 15. There are good things about ex-wives and ex-mothers. Not all. Family always wants to know your business, and then they will even use your kids to glean valuable info from you. Yeah. My parents talk to my daughter, but I don't. I told them I don't want to hear about her. I don't want anything. When she's ready to reach out, the door will not be locked, but I'll open it up. Spend more attention on the cake than they did on the marriage. Those cakes are expensive too. I think our cake was like $1,000 in 1997. It's just a white cake with lemon frosting. Whatever, but once you put wedding on it, it becomes 10 million times that. I think part of the issue is that we never see the reality of people. 99% is fake interaction. No one is happy. All that shit you see on Facebook and social media, it's all fake. It's all a joke. My ex limited access too, but it was done to punish exclusive. She lost it when I bought my son a PS3. That's dangerous, my man. That's dangerous when that happens. MGTOW Outlaw, good to see you, brother. I was on your stream the other day, actually. Check out MGTOW Outlaw's streams, guys. He does good stuff. She wants to stay single and be a 304 so her simp rotation can buy her daily food. And after that, they will fly her out to Arabian countries, pumped for money. Sure. But the whole reality of this new way of thinking, and I've been in this way of thinking for 9.5, almost 10 years. Our wedding cake was good, actually. This whole red pill MGTOW is how can a man find peace, quiet, and freedom in his life? That's all it means to me. And to me, it means no marriage, no cohabitation, no kids, no toxicity, understanding how the education system works, how the government works, what your role is in society today and choosing to find peace somehow. There's no interaction anymore. Most people have anxiety because they can't speak to people. I purposely avoided my best friend's wedding because I saw the red flags with his wife. Walking away has always worked for me. Good for you, brother. Good for you for deleting that stuff. But whatever means peace, quiet, and freedom, that's the whole foundation of these channels, these videos that we do, the time we spend interacting with one another. How can we help each other experience that? We come out of not experiencing peace, quiet, and freedom if you're going through marriage, divorce, broken relationships, bad family situation. Clark's charging 40 grand for a picture with him. I saw him in the Chicago airport in like 1999. And I said, the Hulkster. And he goes, hey, brother. That was free for me. And he's tall. A female gets peace by disturbing his peace. Ain't that the truth, Mr. Markel? My bestie is now with a controlling shrew. Everybody hates her. It's a no-win, so I just stay away. Yeah. One of my best friends and I are no longer friends because I'm divorced and I chose to live my life in peace, or at least find ways to live in peace. Not every day is going to be peace, quiet, and freedom. But if the majority of your life has removed the obstacles, I'd say my life is a lot more peace, quiet, and freedom now than it ever has been the last 4 or 5 years, especially in the last 2, once my son turned 18. They're going to take your money, Jawara. Be careful. Shopping list syndrome for the win, Singletown. She hates it when you level up. It's all about full control over you like a little pet. Your best power in life is 2 letters, the word N-O. You will not stand for toxic people in your life. You will not stand for drama. You will say no to it. You will say no to people that want you to come over and waste your time when you don't want to go over for fear that they might not be your friends anymore. You need to set a boundary and a foundation with yourself. Self, I will no longer tolerate disrespect or circumstances that take away my peace and my freedom. That's the whole gist of all of this. They want a man they can't control, then spend the entire relationship trying to control you. They want 2 in 1. Why do women not have real pets? They have men to play with. It's like when you file for divorce and they ask you if you're seeing anyone. Happened to me. Sure. Isolating yourself is a great thing. You become mysterious. You become one with your higher power. Well said. Well said. I love being in nature, guys. You know the best form of therapy that anybody can do outside of fasting and moving yourself? Spending time by a stream, a lake, a river, in the mountains, under a tree. There's lots of wealth. That's richness to feel that way. And if you haven't done it, go do it. Hulk Hogan's divorce broke him, almost broke him. He had to wrestle to pay $2 million a year for it. And she wasn't she screwing like her son's friend or something? Controller change you to be that real man they want. John Cleese had to go back to work from retirement because of divorce. Sure. Lots of women think they understand men. They don't. They do not have a penis. They do not have a penis. That's like trying to understand religion if you've never been part of that religion. I have a Discord, but I never go to it. So if you guys are trying to be friends, I don't think I've been to it in 6 months. We need our peace, quiet, and freedom in order to silence the haters. Well said, brother. JC from Texas. Toxic people do not deserve your company. Why men must understand this. It's all about your health at this point. The stress of toxic circumstances, people, and scenarios will wreak havoc on you. Cut them off. It doesn't matter if they're downstream as your children or upstream as your parents or sidestream as your brothers and sisters or friends. We don't have much time on this earth. Spend the last 30, 40 years of your life if you're in your 40s or 50s doing the things that will bring you value, make up for those lost years of trying to please everybody, dealing with drama, trying to not rock the boat, and doing the things for yourself. I do love my peace and stability. Bingo, me too, brother. A lot of people talk about the Far From Eden. I really still have not seen. I clicked on one, I think it was a short, but again, A for effort, for trying to bring an awareness to other women from a woman. But at the end of the day, still not a man, still no penis, still doesn't under the pressure of being a man or the way men are treated in society. You can see it from the outside in, but you truly don't understand it. So I have a very difficult time subscribing to women that think they do. Remember, anybody remember NOLA girl? That NOLA girl? I thought she was a chameleon. That was a few years ago, like 5 years ago. I don't know if that chick's still around. She thought she knew everything. She was trying to tell all the other 304s not to do these certain things, whatever. Man should not take disrespect from anyone. If he's not respected in his house, it's better to leave or kick them out. Otto says, I think she's legit, but who knows? And I'm not saying she's not speaking with truth. I'm just saying at the end of the day, I value more men's topics because they are a man that understand the pressure of being a man, especially from birth. Heard a woman say women shouldn't get with men who are laid back and chill because they're not able to change them because they don't care. Yeah, there's a few of them I've heard their names. Haven't really checked them out, though. I think she's one of them. That's what I've been doing, chasing my goals. I'm unavailable until I make them a reality. Good for you. And you're a young kid. I am one of 5, and I walked away from my 4 siblings' freedom. It's Richie from the UK. Good to see you, brother. I don't know what happened to her. I just remember her trying to give advice to people, and I'm like, I don't know if you know who she married or the backstory, but it seemed like she was a 304 backstory. Look, I'm not bashing on people that provide. We have women that come to our chat. We have one today. And maybe some, and you know what? They do it, a lot of these, because they have young sons and they see the 304. They want to understand and help teach their kids. There's nothing wrong with that. That's unfortunate, Trog. See, that is absolutely that is not cool that she's trying to talk about men's issue, but doing the exact opposite. Ugh. Fake Melon, yeah. She was an interesting gal. Torsha, I don't know who that is. Says a woman does not understand a man. That is 100. If they say they do, walk. They can try to, but they don't understand what it's like being a man. Were they born a man? Did they go through junior high, grade school, high school as a man? Any woman that's got an OnlyFans is barf, right? For whatever reason, I'm not toxic and never have been. It begs the question, what does cause toxic people to be toxic? Great question, JC. Programming, difficult childhoods. There's men and women that have had bad childhoods, and we are a product of our childhood to some form or fashion. It's us to decide what we do with that experience. Do we allow it to control us in the future, or do we try to make terms and peace with it? I didn't have the best upbringing. I was 2 of 6. My dad was a very difficult man. We lived in very humble circumstances with very little money. But I use it now, and I look back. Interesting trope. Now I look back and I say, you know what? My dad and mom did the best that they could based on their upbringings. I was never abused. I never went a night without a meal. That could have been oatmeal, could have been, meatloaf. But I never went without a meal. I always had a roof over my head. Right? She's not a man. Again, if she can bring out the information, great. But again, at the end of the day, they are not men. They have never grown up as a boy. We have very different, they can try to understand. They might have sons that they think what boys are like. They don't understand what boys are like. They're not a boy. Nor do I know what it's like to be a girl. And I'm not going to try to think I know what it's like to be a girl. I can't imagine the pressure girls feel today. But it is what it is. We accept it. Remember, liberal women want traditional men because the liberal men are too soft, like tofu. Tofu, estrogen. How do you shave your head? Bullfighter 42. Hey, great question. I just use a Bic. I've been doing it since I was 20 years old. So almost 33 years. What I like to do now is when I go in the sauna, I'll do it in the sauna without any shaving cream. Sometimes I use shaving cream. Sometimes I use shampoo. It doesn't matter. I typically don't do it dry. But in the sauna, it opens the pores so well, you get the best shave in a sauna. I think our parents wanted to teach us value with their hard personality because life is not for the weak. My dad grew up in very interesting circumstances. In fact, when my grandfather, who died at almost 104, would come visit growing up, they would shake each other's hands. When I see my dad, he hugs me. At first, when I grew up and was married and so forth and had kids, he would try. It was kind of a little standoffish because I think he was acting like he acted towards his dad. And then I gave my dad a hug, and I hug him. I hug my kids. I tell them I love them. My dad never said he loved me. I knew he loved me. He says it now, but he didn't say it growing up because his dad didn't say it. But I knew he loved me because he took care of me. He came and watched me skateboard. He took me to games. But he was my father, wasn't my friend. These kids coming up today need to go to basic training or mandate an intervention. Well said. I think there's nothing wrong with kids going through basic training, but a lot of them quit now, apparently. Meatloaf is good stuff. My mom used to make it. And then sometimes we didn't. Dad didn't get paid that weekend or whatever. So we had oatmeal or, waffles. But we always had food in our bellies. We always had health care. You use those skull shavers. I just use a regular Bic. Some of those skull shavers the blades can be quite expensive. I'm not getting any hair at this age, Jor. I'll wear a wig. You guys remember my wig? Let's see if I grab it out. Every now and again, I'll wear this just for shits and giggles. Check this out. It's funny. Now, let's put this on. I know it looks goofy, but I'm just giving you guys an idea. Now watch this. Now how's it look? Right? Rad with hair. Meatloaf is good. Well said. Let's see, who's this? I only get to hug my dad at bat mitzvah. There you go. That itches. It's usually for Halloween type stuff or like a costume party. And I hardly go to those. Megan Herzog. I only got to hug my dad at bat mitzvah. There you go. I use Fusion 5 with soap. Haven't paid for a haircut in 25 years. Yeah, I'm 33 years now, brother. How much money have we saved? I will do anything for love, but I won't do that. Meatloaf, he had some good songs. My kids salute me every time we FaceTime. It's funny. There you go. See that hair? I can't imagine what it would be like to have hair. I bought a good set of clippers. Been about 10 years since my last barber visit. There you go. Brad, are you a bank robber? There you go. Suzanne Roach, you look better bald. A lot of people, I had a couple friends that wanted, they wanted hair. They went to Hair Club for Men back in the 90s. I'm like, man, I could never glue something to my head. So I shaved it and I get a tan. Never had problem. I've never had problems with the ladies with it. Prosthetic hair. There you go. Where is Suzanne Roche from? That looks like a new subscriber. Totally new. Too bad you can't use that for ID. I wore that one time. I actually did it. A good friend of mine makes hats. You got to put it under a hat or that's the only way they look decent. DB Cooper and a beanie. Attaboy. Jeremy Bailey, UK, that made me laugh. I'm listening in, but busy prepping food for a few days. Just knocked up a good stew. Attaboy. Good to see you, brother. That's a wig, man. I ain't gonna pay $900 for my weave. But a lot of guys would like put the hair club for men, and you have to glue that shit on, and then it grows. Oh, just nah. I accepted and I own my baldness. Actions speak louder than words. You're well said, brother. Sean Connery, Yul Brynner. But I just watched The Magnificent Seven last night with Yul Brynner, Charlton Heston, Steve McQueen. I'm watching a lot of Steve McQueen right now. I really like his stuff. Rad or Chad. There you go. John Markell's got a nice bald too. Same with Rev's got baldness. Who else? We got a lot of bald brothers in here. Otto's baldy. There you go. Appreciate you guys being here. I got to get back to doing something. But remember, remove all toxic people, circumstances, and scenarios from your life. We all have to learn it somehow. Say no. You will fall in love with the word no. At the end of the day, peace, quiet, and freedom is the only thing that's going to be worth living for. Anybody ever see that Japanese guy? He does YouTube videos and he's miserable. And he says the only time he's happy is when he eats Doritos and has Pepsi. And he has a wife and kids. It's kind of sad if you think about it. We don't care what they think. If you care what a woman thinks, it's ridiculous. Thank God for the men who step in to help kids whose fathers leave home. Humor Harold, good to see you. I love the word. You know, we have a lot of women that come to these chat channels, and as long as there's respect, I'm fine with that. We don't hate women. We accept reality. And hopefully we can find common ground. With that being said, hold on, I got a couple more I got to go through. You've heard Japanese ladies are the worst. I've seen a very attractive one. I don't know their personality. Good to see the legendary John Boston. I didn't see you went live. You see Forever 21 is going out of business and Bumble is on the skids. Huh. Lots of people going out of business. So, yeah. Anthony Costa. Traditional advantage without traditional accountability. Well said. We'll see you guys later from what part of the Northwest? Portland or Seattle? I was married to a Japanese woman, Rad, for 20 years. Okay. Well, you have the experience. You would know. I think you mentioned her one time. With that being said, this is my last comment. I went to the gym. Can't believe how many young men are getting fake, women are getting fake boobs. Well, I went to Beaverton High School, class of 1990. My parents live off Murray and Shoals Ferry. I went to Highland Park. Interesting. Is this sunflower? This might be sunflower. Anyhow, you guys take it easy. We'll see you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.